Hey guys, welcome to Big Joe and Malia's world. And today we're making homemade buttermilk biscuits.
Guys, you won't believe how easy it is to make homemade buttermilk biscuits. You really just need 3 ingredients. So here's what you need. All right, first thing you gotta have, self-rising flour. Second ingredient is buttermilk. Third ingredient is frozen unsalted butter. And you also need a couple of tools. You need a box grater that's got the big holes. You need parchment paper, and you need a baking sheet. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a mixing bowl, and you are going to just put all of your flour in there, every bit of it. Then what you're going to do, take your butter, unwrap it, and it needs to be frozen. That's a very, 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 very important part. And you're going to grate it on the big hole side of a box grater, just like this. And you're going to grate the entire stick. All right, once you get your stick of butter grated, here's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like little butter curls, just like that. Kind of looks like hay. So what you're going to do, you're going to put all of this butter in the bowl. With the flour, you're going to put all the butter together in the flour, and you're just going to kind of toss it around just a little bit. Whoop, or flip flour all over your arm. You're just going to toss it around. Doesn't have to be real perfect or anything. You're really just coating the coating the butter with the flour. Just like that. All right. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to take this bowl and you're going to put it in the refrigerator for 10 minutes. All right. Once you take your bowl with your flour and butter out of the refrigerator, you're just going to make a well in the bowl, just like this. Just make your little well. And you're going to take your buttermilk, cold buttermilk. And don't get that low-fat buttermilk. You want full leaded buttermilk.
High octane.
High octane buttermilk. Stinky stuff. Wouldn't drink it if I had to, but it's good in biscuits. And then you're just going to stir this up. It only takes just a second to stir it up. You don't have to worry about getting lumps out of it because you won't get lumps out of this. Okay. Once you get your buttermilk stirred into your flour and your butter mix, you have got a big old sticky mess just like this. Okay. So what you're going to do, take a little bit of flour on a very, 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 very clean surface. Just spread it around just like this, okay? Then you're going to turn out your biscuit dough. Get a hold of it good. Going to turn out your biscuit dough right onto the flour, just like that. Now, then you want to take a little bit of the flour and put it on the top, because you don't want this to be sticky. Next thing you do, take a rolling pin, put you some flour on it, Just like that. Then you're going to roll this biscuit dough. Till about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch probably in diameter or in thickness. And then you're going to fold it over. Put some more flour. You really won't get too much on this, guys. The key is you just don't want it to stick. So, fold it over. Keep flouring it as you go. And reflour your surface if you have to. And it's messy. You're going to get it on your hands. And just keep rolling it out. Now you want to do this, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. This takes the place of kneading it, okay? If you just do it with your rolling pin, you don't have to knead it, okay? But just make sure you keep everything good and floured. Keep flour handy. Keep it by your side because you're going to need it. It gets easier every time because it's less and less and less sticky. Okay? It's looking pretty, ain't it?
It is. And one good thing about doing it this way is when people make biscuits, their biggest mistake is they over knead their dough.
Yes, you do not want to do that, or it will not be. They won't be fluffy. So this keeps your hands out of it. Well, it don't keep your hands from getting messy, but it keeps you from over kneading it. All right, one last time. All right. The last time. A little bit more flour, both sides. A little bit more flour on your rolling pin. Now this time, it really doesn't matter what shape you roll it in. If it goes into a rectangle, a circle, a square, it doesn't matter. What matters at this point is the thickness of your dough. Now, if you find a sticky spot, just put your little flour on it. You're going to want to roll this at this point to about 1/2 inch. Make sure it's nice and even on the top. All right, now once you get your dough rolled out to the thickness that you want, you're going to take your biscuit cutter. Now, you can use any kind of biscuit cutter that you want with this. You can use, this one just has a pretty little edge on it. It doesn't matter. You can even use a glass, like just a regular drinking glass. However big you want them, it just doesn't matter. So, take your cookie cutter, or your biscuit cutter in this case. Make sure you dip it in flour because you don't want it to stick either. And you just want to start cutting biscuits. Now, give them a good twist and keep dipping your cutter into flour every now and then because you don't want it to stick. All right. Now, once you get your first set cut out, what you're going to do, you're going to take your baking sheet, whatever kind of baking sheet you want to use. This is a cookie sheet that I'm using. Get your parchment paper. Line this baking sheet with parchment paper. This helps your biscuits get good and brown, and easier cleanup. Now, you don't have to spray parchment paper with cooking spray. So you just put the biscuits on here. I see that I've got a thin one or two. That don't matter either. If they come out thin, they're just going to be they're not going to rise as good, and that doesn't matter. Now, when you got your scraps, well, let me get the rest of these biscuits on here. Let's move these around just a little bit. You can actually have them touching. They'll rise a little faster, a little better if you do that. So let's just do that. Let's just make them touch. All right. Take your scraps, and you pretty much just want to gather them up in a ball. Roll them back out. To whatever thickness that you want. Just keep cutting them out and keep putting them on baking tray. All right, once you get all your biscuits rolled out, here's what they look like. And you're gonna want to bake these in a preheated 475-degree oven for 15 minutes. We'll be back. All right, guys, here's what these biscuits look like right out of the oven. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take some melted butter, and I am just gonna brush over the tops of these babies. Just like this, real simple. Don't have to be nothing fancy. And now that we have got the butter on the top, what's next, honey?
Taste test.
Woohoo! Big Joe's favorite part. We're going to let him try them out, guys. Alrighty. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see what Big Joe has to think about these biscuits.
Guys, look what a thing of beauty. Mmm. Mmm.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Mama better knock this one out of the park. Them biscuits are good. They're good.
Okay, guys, that's it for the Buttermilk Biscuits. If you try this recipe, please let us know in the comments, because we'd love to know how you like all the recipes. And as always, guys, we want to thank you for allowing a little bit of Big Joe and Malia's world
Into your world.
See you soon, guys.
Bye.